just as we're going to see in the James Comey case,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to fail spectacularly in court. What that's going to prove is that he's a paper tiger, and so many of his threats are hollow.
So, yeah, am I correct that the Republicans could, if they desired, change the rule for this particular bill to overcome the filibuster? They have 53 votes. It only takes 51 to change a rule, correct?
I would say yes, but I'm going to take your word for it because I am no expert on congressional procedure. Now, if they start killing one another, then I've got something to talk about because I'm a homicide guy. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. But I think you're right. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Now, there's something that we didn't talk about yet this week. Donald issued an NSPM, I believe is what it's called, 7, that says, okay, he's targeting organizations or group, but it's very ambiguous. Basically, it's saying if you promote anti-Americanism, whatever that is, anti-capitalism, whatever that is, anti-Christianity, support for the overthrow of the United States, he does that, extremism on migration, extremism on race, gender, hostility towards those who hold traditional views on family, hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on religion, hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on morality. That seems ambiguous at best. Like, how do you say? Is he just going to try to arrest protesters? Is that it?
Well, the good news is none of this has the force of law.
Okay, good.
So, yes, he can continue to try to abuse the rights of the American people when they say something that displeases him.
Mm-hmm.
He can't successfully bring them into a court of law and prosecute them because these things aren't crimes. In fact, the majority of what you just listed would undoubtedly fall in the category of protected First Amendment free speech. So, but, Donald Trump is forever ignoring or trying to cancel the Constitution. He started with trying to, pick up a Sharpie with his little hands and cross out the birthright citizenship guarantee.
Right.
And he hasn't stopped since day one. The good news is, just as we're going to see in the James Comey case,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to fail spectacularly in court. What that's going to prove is that he's a paper tiger, and so many of his threats are hollow.
Do you really think the Comey thing is actually going to make it to trial, or will pretrial motions stop that for vindictive prosecution, et cetera? Because I think it's not even going to make it to voir dire.
I agree. I think there will be probably the most compelling vindictive prosecution defense ever mounted in our nation's courts. And I mean that literally, not hyperbolically, because we've never had evidence of vindictiveness by the lead prosecutor, who is Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He's co-opted the prosecutorial decision-making of the Department of Justice. He can be called as a witness. And if I were Comey's defense team, I would subpoena him because you have a right to compel witnesses to testify in your favor at trial. So I would subpoena him to a motions hearing. I would probably just put him on the stand and say, hey, Donald, go.
Yeah.
How much do you dislike my client? Come on. This will be like shooting fish in the barrel on the motions practice. So I suspect it will get dismissed short of a jury trial.
Yeah, that's my feelings on it, because, they haven't even talked to Andy McCabe. They haven't even talked. It's so ridiculous. And he said, go after these people publicly. He didn't mean to do it publicly, I don't think,
Yeah.
but he did do it. Okay. There's a huge protest going to happen on October 18th, and Donald has threatened to send troops into cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, etc. Is it because he's afraid of this next No Kings, basically, rally? Do you think that's part of the impetus for him to try to scare us into not going out in the streets? Do you think that's it?
Absolutely. I'm less concerned about that than I am about copycats retaliating for what happened to Charlie Kirk. But listen, all of this is a sign of weakness, not strength. If Donald Trump was a strong dictator that he so desperately wants to be, he wouldn't have to send troops out to try to tamp down, protests or social unrest, because his mere strength as the dictator would send the signal and everybody would obey in advance. Jody, think about this. Donald Trump couldn't even keep Jimmy Kimmel off the air for 1 week.
Right.
How weak and pathetic an aspiring dictator are you if even Disney, ABC, Sinclair, and Nexstar buck you as the dictator and say, you know what? We've thought better of it. We know you want him off the air, but, go kick rocks, Don. You're not a strong dictator if you can't even keep a comedian off the air.
No, you're right. I mean, what I know is that Sinclair and Nexstar looked at their affiliate contracts with Disney and went, oh, we legally cannot keep him off the air for more than a day or two. Just because we don't want him on the air, if we want to keep our relationship with this major company. We would like The Bachelor, we would like The Bachelorette, we would like Dancing with the Stars, etc. So I think that was where their business affairs went, nah.
Yeah, and what that proves is when we fight, we win.
Yeah.
I mean, when law firms go to court and fight, they win. The law firms that gave, the bully their lunch money without a fight, they're losing. They're losing money and they're losing clients, right?
Yes.
When news organizations fight, they win. Be the Wall Street Journal and be the New York Times. Don't be the Washington Post and the LA Times. And here's the thing. When Guatemalan children, unaccompanied minors, go to court and they fight, they win. They beat Trump and his administration. It just proves the point that we've got to fight on all fronts.
Absolutely.
I wanted to talk to you both, Yahweh and Yesh, because I wrote a book, and it's about you guys, but it's really about some of your fans, the mean ones, the racist ones, the homophobe ones, the ones who don't like women. You guys come off really well in the book. Jesus, you come off really good in this book.
Yeah, I've heard that when people talk about the Bible, they tell me that God, you come off really well.
Said no one ever.
Jesus comes off really well. Yeah, no, God, you're very impressive, God. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you there's some moments, Almighty, where you're kind of the alcoholic step God. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus, he's chill throughout. Like he's proof of evolution.
But John, people have been twisting my message, right? And that's what this book is about.
It really is, Jesus. I mean, I've gone through this book of yours many times. You never said anything against the gays. You never said anything against women having to be forced to be pregnant. I mean, you're not against abortion. You're against the death penalty, Jesus. I know that. You're like your dad in that you tell us to welcome the stranger.
Yeah. I mean, the right people are twisting my message left and right, and we can't take it anymore. So we're so excited to have this book, a really rock-solid resource to show people what the Bible actually says. And that's why we love you, John. You're spreading our true good word.
Simon & Schuster's Avid Reader Press presents Separation of Church and Hate, the bold, hilarious new book from John Fugelsang, available September 9th and on sale now at your local independent bookstore or your favorite non-evil website.